A very good evening and a warm welcome to Monday night's edition of Primetime News. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa. As always, we call upon you, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, press the like button and be sure to click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. Leading our news bulletin tonight, the leader of the Independent Patriots for Change, Dr. Panduleni Itula, paid a courtesy visit to President Dr. Hage Geingob at State House earlier this morning. Edward Mumbu Jr. was at State House and produced this insert.
We have new things that are happening in the country. Others you know already. But Namibia is now in the forefront. We are wanted, so to say. We are respected. They want to deal with us on this green hydrogen thing. So we thought it would be good that all Namibians, you have sizable support in the country. Some councillors are yours. It would be good that therefore we know what we are talking about. And if somebody asks to come and say, I want to pay a courtesy call, to know what is going on, as you just said, why not?
Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Vice President Nangolo Mbumba has expressed satisfaction with the skills portrayed at the just-ended World Skills Africa competition, which took place at Swakopmund. Isabel Bento compiled this story.
In his remarks at the event's official closing and awarding ceremony Saturday evening, Mbumba noted that the competitors have showcased skills that align with the continent's Agenda 2063, Africa's blueprint for sustainable and inclusive economic growth and development. He added that as a continental conglomeration of the World Skills International movement, World Skills Africa is positioned within the structures of the African Union to support, facilitate, manage, and implement skills development projects, competitions, and activities with World Skills International and key stakeholders. In her remarks at the same event, Higher Education, Technology and Innovation Minister Dr. Itakanji Murangi said the competition led up to its billing as a capacity-building platform from which to gain more traction in the collective endeavor to upscale the African continent. Euthresia Mulenga, World Skills Africa representative, has appealed to more African countries to join the World Skills movement to support the African youth through TVET and to empower each other as an African Union.
The European Union has funded the Namibian government with $59.5 million Namibian dollars towards the country's nationally determined contribution, a climate action plan to cut emissions and adapt to climate impact.
The nationally determined contributions are long-term goals agreed upon by world leaders at the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP21 2015 in Paris to guide all nations to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change in an effort to achieve climate neutrality continent by 2050. Speaking at the launch of the EU Action Support on the implementation and coordination of the nationally determined contribution for Namibia here Friday, EU Ambassador to Namibia, Sinika Antila, said climate change is a priority issue to be solved in unison among the international community, noting that every country is already or will be in future negatively affected. Antila said climate change challenges require immediate, concerted actions, noting that the extreme droughts that Namibia has experienced over the years and recent devastating floods in Europe are a result of climate change. At the same event, Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism Executive Director Theophilus Ngitila said Namibia's target stands at 91% to meet emission reduction goals by 2030 through aggressive plans to increase shares of renewable energy through various initiatives. He noted climate change has taken its toll on Namibia already. For the past years, we've experienced prolonged drought, veld fires, and changes in rainfall patterns. He added that the government is therefore obligated to formulate appropriate policies and regulations to ensure a collective effort of succeeding in achieving green emissions by 2030.
On a somber note, the Namibian police force in the Kavango East region are looking for the body of a 9-year-old boy who is alleged to have been attacked by a crocodile on Saturday. Sawi Hausiku, who is in that region, filed this developing story.
In their weekend crime report issued on Sunday, NAMPOL said the incident happened at Rujarara village in the Kavango East region around 1400 hours. It is alleged that the boy was with friends looking after cattle when he felt thirsty and decided to go drink water from the river. Said in the process of him drinking water, A crocodile attacked him and his body has not been found, adding that investigations continue. Joy Goses, Number News.
Kindly stand by for your top roundup. In the business and economic segment tonight, a United Nations Population Fund official on Sunday announced that the agency, in collaboration with Tanzania and Switzerland, will launch a $5.1 million program aimed at safeguarding young Tanzanians by improving their health and well-being.
Fatina Kiluvia, a program analyst at UNFPA, said young people as a key driver for any sustainable development need to be nurtured and empowered to attain their full potential in overcoming many barriers which may hinder them from attaining said goals. Kiluvia told a press conference in the commercial capital of Dar es Salaam that young people face many challenges ranging from gender-based violence and lack of sexual reproductive health rights and education to sexually transmitted infections including HIV. Kiluvia said the UNFPA, in collaboration with the government of Tanzania and Swiss government, has come up with a 3-year program which will focus on interventions which create a conducive socio-economic, legal, policy environment and capacity development for adolescents and youth.
Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki earlier today blamed Germany for being the biggest break when it comes to negotiations on further European Union sanctions on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. More on this story from DPA.
While Germany has joined other EU members in imposing sanctions on the Kremlin in some areas, it has rejected calls for an embargo on Russian energy imports that help fuel the German economy. Morawiecki appealed to Chancellor Olaf Scholz to change his position on sanctions. It is not the voices of German companies, of German billionaires, which are now probably discouraging you from further action, that should be heard loudly in Berlin today. It is the voice of these innocent women and children, the voice of those murdered, that should be heard by all Germans and by all German politicians, the conservative leader told a press conference in Warsaw. He also aimed some of his criticism at Scholz's predecessor, Angela Merkel. Madam Chancellor, you have been silent since the beginning of the war, yet it is precisely Germany's policy over the past 10-15 years that has led to Russia's strength today, which is based on its monopoly on the sale of raw materials, he said. Morawiecki continued to say that even now the German government is putting on the brakes when it comes to further EU sanctions against Moscow. This is evident from the minutes of the EU meetings, he said, adding anyone who reads the transcripts will know that Germany is the biggest break when it comes to more decisive sanctions.
And with this insert, we've come to the end of the top news for this evening. Kindly stay tuned for the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast.
Good evening and welcome to Sport Planet. I'm Joy Gorses. Leading the segment, Namibia beat Ireland Wolves by 6 wickets to take a 2-1 lead in the 50-over Castle Light Series match played at Wanderers Cricket Fields in Windhoek on Sunday. This was Namibia's second victory in 4 matches after winning the first and losing the third, while the second was washed out by the rains at the same venue. Speaking after the match, Namibia's captain Gerard Erasmus said as a team they were disappointed to lose the previous match, hence they had to improve on Sunday's game so as to please the fans who always expect them to perform well. Also speaking after the match, losing captain Neil Allen Rock said his team needs to improve and back up their previous win with better performance when they play the last game of the 50-over series on Tuesday at the same venue. On to football news. Netherlands coach Louis van Gaal announced on Sunday evening that he has been suffering from an aggressive form of prostate cancer since the end of 2020. Van Gaal said he was still positive about his health. In most cases, prostate cancer does not kill you. Usually underlying diseases kill you with this kind of cancer, he said. Despite his illness, Van Gaal still plans to go with the national team to the 2022 FIFA World Cup, which will be played in Qatar from November 21 to December 18. Kindly stand by for your sports roundup. With the Sport Planet segment, we have come to the end of Monday's edition. Many thanks for joining us. Once more, another reminder that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free to interact with us in the comment section. Catch us tomorrow for Tuesday's edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gorses, and the entire production crew, it's good night.